Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome to our live. Hopefully, let me see if I can get in here. As you come on, please say hello to us. I would love to say hello to everyone in here that is catching this. If you happen to be catching the replay, there we go. Just making sure I got it up on the screen over here. If you happen to be catching the replay, please make sure you give us a hashtag replay so you know you were able to catch this. Really excited to be able to share the Chippy Paint, how I did the Chippy Paint on the sunflower and the pumpkin. I'm not seeing anything. So if someone's on here, can you just say hello? Okay, so hello from Louisiana. Hello, Miss Linda. I love you. All right, you guys. Let's get started. I don't want to keep you guys too long. I'll try to be as quick as I can, but we're going to have just a little bit of a crafting hour together. I hope you all don't mind. My name is Jennifer Jones, and I am super excited. I asked Jamie if it was okay if I came in here and showed, for those of you who don't know how to do, hello, Lisa, Chippy Paint. I mean, there's a lot of you in here that are amazing, phenomenal painters and crafters, and we're all looking to get there. So these are for those who maybe have never tried the Chippy Paint, but maybe you'll get a tip or trick. Hello, Christine. Hello, my friend. Hello, Sarah Smith. Welcome, welcome. Maybe you'll learn something new. I am from South Carolina, and I have actually been in the crafting industry for about almost 5 years now. I've been doing crafting. I just got a laser. I got my first laser a little over a year ago, but prior to that, I did a lot of scroll saw and a lot of stencil and transfers, which I'm going to show you one today. And I love to craft. I love to decorate, even though if you saw what I have around me right now, you would probably be like, yeah, right. Working so I can watch and play, but can't watch. Oh, okay, Brandy. Hopefully you get to catch the replay. Awesome. Thank you. And where was I at? I was talking about crafting. And so I love sharing. I love creating. I love meeting people who love to create. So I was excited that Jamie allowed me to come in here. Jamie's files are amazing. I think I have, oh gosh, it's embarrassing to say, but I think I have like every single file Jamie has ever made. So her files are just simply amazing. So hopefully you were able to grab these. And, well, let's just go ahead and get started. You know what? Like I said, when you come on, say hello to us. Tell us which laser that you have. I would love to see who has what lasers with all the new lasers popping up and things like that. I would love to see what kind of laser you have. So let me get my screen set up here. I'm going to put myself up there in the corner so that you can see what I'm doing. So today, we are going to be doing the sunflower mini cutting board. But as you can see, I did do the Chippy Paint on the family one. I did it on the pumpkin one. There is the Lord one, the Gather one. Oh my gosh, there are so many. You have a Glowforge Plus. Awesome. I had one. That was actually the first thing I got was my Glowforge Plus. Awesome. Love it. So that is what we're going to be doing today. These are awesome, my friends. These are a great workshop idea. These are a great DIY kit idea. So great size as well. Okay. I have labor. Christine. Oh my goodness. You have an awesome CNC machine, girlfriend. All right. So let's get started, right? So we have our cutouts that you made. Okay. And I like to use maple or birch, and I get a lot of my wood from Home Depot. So this is the 1/8 inch. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the maple. Yes, this is the maple because I just got this order in. So let me get my gloves. And if you have any questions as we're going along, feel free to ask. Hopefully I will see them in the comments and I can answer them for you or someone else. If they know the answer, please feel free to answer. I just started in December and you have a Glowforge Plus. Awesome. I loved my Glowforge Plus. Blah, blah. So I started with the Plus, and then I got a Pro, and then I got 3 OM Tech lasers. So as of right now, we still have our Glowforge Pro, and we have a 150 watt, 100 watt, and an 80 watt OM Tech. Okay, so what you're going to need is, and I did put a list of the things you're going to want to need. You're going to need a stain. You're going to need some Vaseline, or you can use a wax. You can use a candle wax, or if you have a different kind of wax at home, you can use a wax, but I use Vaseline. You're going to need some chalk paint. And then these are really, really important. I have a Glowforge Pro and just recently got a Glowforge. That's awesome. That is awesome. But these are the kind of brushes you're going to want to get. I got these, and like I said, all the links are in that post, and I can share that if anyone has any questions when we're done. These are called a Chippy Paint brush because do you see how they're like kind of straggly, raggly? I call them straggly looking. But these are called Chippy Paint brushes. These are what I like to use to do the Chippy Paint technique. I just feel it works best, okay? So those are some of the main things you're going to need. And you're going to want some paper towels. So let me get that handy while I'm here. And let's get started, okay? I have a Glowforge Plus. So we have a lot of Glowforge owners in here. That's awesome. Awesome. You know what? There's a lot of great lasers out there, but I will tell you, I am very, very happy that I started with a Glowforge because learning the other ones takes a little bit more patience, and I'm just glad I had my Glowforge to get started with that. Let me get my stain open. Now, on the ones in the picture that you guys saw, I used Early American, okay? And I don't have any more Early American stain. So I'm going to be using a Summer Oak color stain on this one. But it's perfectly fine. You can use any color stain. You don't necessarily have to do this if you have a different kind of color scheme in mind that you are looking to do. All right. So I got that out. I'm going to get one of my little sponges out of here. You can use a foam brush. I just use these little sponges. It's easier for me. And you're just going to go over it with your stain. Okay, you're going to put stain all over. I promise this is like way super easy. Super, super easy. You're going to be like, oh my gosh. Super easy. Okay. Hi, Jamie, if you're watching. We love your files. She is an awesome person inside and out. She truly, truly is. Okay, so you're just going to stain the whole thing just like that. And that's why I put my little gloves on. Sometimes, listen, I think I'm being just a little bit nicer that I'm doing this live because, honestly, sometimes I don't wear gloves. Is it okay to use paint as stain? Yeah, you absolutely can do the baby wipe technique. Absolutely you can. Absolutely. Okay? And then I'm just going to kind of wipe a lot of the excess off because I do have a lot on here. So I'm just going to wipe that off just like that. Okay? Easy peasy breezy. There we go. Okay? Now this is where you're going to get your wax or your Vaseline. I know Jamie likes to use wax, but I like to use Vaseline, and I just get an old paintbrush, and you can see this one is like beat up as all get out. But I like to get a little bit of wax, and you're just going to random, my friends, random put blobs, and I will get you a close-up of wax wherever you're going to kind of want it to be chippy. If you want a lot of chippy, use a lot of wax everywhere. If you don't want a lot of chippy, don't put as much. But I like the really chippy look to make it look a little bit more farmhouse and old and distressed. Okay? So you're just going to put your wax on or your Vaseline, whatever it is you use. Okay? No rhyme or reason. There is no rhyme or reason as to where you want it. And I don't know if you guys can really see that. Like I have a lot on mine. Okay? Just like that. And that's all you're going to do with that. I'm going to put this aside. Okay. I'll put my brush somewhere. And then I'm going to get my paint and my chippy brush. It doesn't matter what size chippy brush you have. Literally, mine came in a huge packet and they were very, very cheap on Amazon. I'm just using this one because it's bigger and it kind of covers more. Okay. So I'm going to get some paint on my brush. And I kind of like to keep the paint minimal on my brush when I'm doing this. So you don't want globs of paint, okay? Do you see what I'm doing here? I'm kind of, especially over your lettering, over the lettering area, be gentle, don't press hard, okay? You will get some paint in the letters when you engrave. It happens. It totally happens. You can use I can show you a little trick when we get to the other one, but just kind of go over it gently. If you would rather just kind of go around it, you totally can do that. But there is no magic or secret sauce to this, my friends. You do not have to be perfect in the paint when you're doing this, okay? So, let's see. Kind of touch it up over there, over there. Okay, there you go. That's it, right? Done painting. Now, the thing is, you do need to let this dry, okay? If you have, hold on, let me wipe my hands. Where's my paper towels? If you have a heat gun, that'll help you dry. You could totally do a heat gun to help it go quicker if you need to get it done quicker. If not, just let it sit until you can see the paint is dry. Okay? And by the magic of Facebook Live, look, we have one. Oh, look at that. Imagine that. And do you see how it's kind of like starting to chip? Can you see that? That's kind of when you know that it's just about good to go, good to dry. Sorry, I've got stuff all over my counter. And then what you're literally going to do is take a paper towel. You're not going to believe this. You're going to be like, what? And wipe it. And wipe it, my friends. That's all you do. You just wipe it. And you keep flipping the towel over, okay? So you don't want to continually use the same paper towel because it's got Vaseline and paint on it and it can smear. So you can just keep wiping it. Look at that. So the places that I had it a little bit thicker, it's coming off in more bigger blobs than the other places. Okay? Look, there you go. Chippy paint. Easy breezy. And then you're going to get your baby wipes. And you always want to kind of go around your edges to get any excess paint off, if you didn't know that. Baby wipes are always the bomb. It takes off any kind of excess paint you have on your edges. You could sand it as well, but just like that. Okay? Ta-da! And then if you want to go like around your letters a little bit more to take a little more off, you can. Now, when I have paint in my letters, for those of you that have a silhouette or a Cricut, you have this little fancy tool. I like to use this to go through and get the paint, the excess paint, out of my letters. Okay? So I love this tool when it comes to that. Because, hey, we all do it, right? We all do it. Unless you mask everything. This tool helps tremendously. The other thing you could do is if you have a nice Posca marker that's thin, you totally could use that to go through the letters as well. But I love this tool to get any kind of excess paint out of my letters. The other thing you could do is for your shiplap lines as well. Okay? So this tool is great for lots of things. So if you don't have one, you totally can buy these at your local craft store. But it totally helps get rid of all that paint that you didn't want in those spots. Okay? Just like that. How cool was that, right? Easy peasy. A lot of you probably already know this stuff, but that's okay. But that is how you do your Chippy Paint, you guys. It's that easy, right? Super cool, super easy. So we've got that part done, okay? I'm not going to go through the rest of the letters because that's just time consuming. So now let's go ahead and do the rest of our truck, okay? So a lot of you are wondering about the, let me pull it back. Do you see how I have this little detail of buffalo plaid inside here? I'm going to show you how to do that. This will be really, really quick. Hello, Linda loves it. Linda Lou. You probably already knew that fun trick, huh? All right, so let's get these painted. And for this, I'm going to use, some of you probably have already heard of this. It's a company called Chalk Couture. I am a designer for Chalk Couture. Jamie knows that already because she actually loved how I did the buffalo plaid, and it was okay with her if I shared it with you. I am a rep for them, but we have these really awesome silkscreen reusable transfers, and that's actually what I'm going to be using. See this? That's what I'm going to be using to do the buffalo plaid, okay? So it comes in this big sheet. You can cut it if you want to. You don't cut it if you don't want to. I'm going to cut it just to make it easier. But these are also reusable. So when you're done with them, you clean them up with water, you wipe them down with a Clorox wipe and let them air dry. And you usually can get 8 to 12 uses out of a transfer, which is super awesome, and sometimes even more, okay? So that's what we're going to be using for the cute little bumper. And then I'm also going to use our chalk paste to paint a little bit as well. So I got my white and I got my gray. And where is my, oops. And I've got my eucalyptus colors, okay? So the chalk paste is water soluble, semi-permanent. It goes on as a liquid, dries completely as a solid, and it's super fun. What I love about the chalk paste is it dries really, really quick, my friends. So let me just get that off of there. I'm going to get my stir stick. Oops. That is what chalk paste looks like, okay? Just like that. This is called chalk paste. It's actually fun to paint with this as well. It really is. It's fun to paint with. If you use a little bit of water, you totally can paint with this. But I'm just going to use the chalk paste and a little sponge. And we're going to go ahead and paint. So I'm just going to dip it in. And I don't know if you guys paint with brushes or if you use little sponges. I like using little sponges. And then I dab my stuff. And I just dab everything. I find it to be easier if you do that. Let me add a little bit of water. There we go. A little bit of water. A little bit of water does you good. Okay, and I actually got a little bit in my grill, so I'm going to use my tool to get it out. Okay. And then let me clean that up. Get rid of that. Clean that up. Right? And what's nice is that I'm going to just let that dry. And then I'm going to use my white to do the same exact thing. Actually, I'm going to use gray. Little bit of gray. What is your desktop that you put the paint on? Lisa, this is actually a desk that, no joke, I found this on Marketplace. It is a desk, it's a glass top that has 2 legs. It allows you to raise and lower it. It was an architect desk, but it's glass. It's really awesome. I love it. I have no idea. I literally bought this desk for $50 on Facebook Marketplace. And I have no idea where she got it. She said it had been in her husband's family, so they didn't want it anymore because he wasn't using it. So I was like, all right, I'll take it. $50. You know it. Okay, so I'm just painting this the gray. Okay, just easy breezy. And then I'm going to dry these up. This is what's nice about chalk paste. It dries super quick. Super, super quick. Put these aside. Okay. And then I'm going to take this transfer. Okay. So you just remove it from its backer sheet, and you want to keep the backers if you decide to go with these. Hello, beautiful. Hi, Miss Jamie. We're so excited you're here. This is what your these transfers actually go back on after you clean them. Okay. And again, clean them with water and a Clorox wipe. You let them air dry. They go right back onto that sheet. Okay. So here we go. We're going to put this right on there. Can you guys see that? Okay. Let me see if I can come in a little bit. There we go. Okay. Just like that. I'm going to get my white chalk paste, my squeegee. I'm going to dip it in. You don't need a lot of this. Okay. And then you're literally just going to scrape it over. You apply pressure, scrape it over, just like that. These transfers are super awesome. We have several patterns, but it's awesome. I love it. Buffalo plaid, though. I know some people are over buffalo plaid. I still love buffalo plaid. I can't help myself. Okay. All right. And then you peel it up. Ta-da! And you've got your cute little buffalo plaid. Okay. So now we've got our little truck with our cute little fender, just like that. Okay, there we go. Right? Super easy peasy breezy. And then one other little trick, if you guys don't know this, anytime I go to paint anything small, and I like to use Posca pens. Posca is probably my favorite. I like to put a piece of tape down. Okay. And then I put those on there. And like I said, I use Posca pens. And I put the links on Amazon for those. And I literally just put it on there so that I really don't even have to hold it down. This is it, my friends. This is all I did. How long did that take us? How long are we live? We're still like 24 minutes in here. And I talk too much. So it's okay, right? It is totally okay. But I like to use Posca pens with letters or smaller details, things like that. So, and this one, the sunflower cutting board, honestly, the one that you saw in the pictures, I have sold that many, many times. I can't even tell you how many times I've sold the sunflower one. But people love it, and it's the time of year. So it's perfect for that. So, ta-da! There's our little word sunflower, right? And then you just peel it off. You're going to stick it on. And then let's do our sunflower and our tires, and we are going to be done. Actually, let's go ahead and paint this up. And again, I'm using the Posca markers for this just because it's easier. And I'm not worried too much about going out of my lines because I'm going to use a little bit of a darker brown for this. Okay. Get my darker brown. And again, it's a flower, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, right? No flower has perfect lines and perfect colors and things like that, but if you choose, you can totally do that. You can also, if you like a little more distressed look, you can also always sand things. I like to sand things. I'm not going to sand in here because I am inside. But sanding always is a nice way to make things look distressed as well, which is super awesome. Okay. So we're going to go do this, like that. And then let's do our tires. Yes, I will put that right on here. Sorry, Jamie, I just saw that. There is the link if you're interested in seeing all the fun chalk stuff. And again, if anybody has any questions about anything related to that, please feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, I've been a designer with them for over 4 years, and I love what I do. There's a couple other girlies on here that are designers too. So I'm just using my pens for these nice little small areas, my friends. And I'm getting a little bit messy, I know I am. And I didn't bring my white over, so I'm going to try to use the darker off-white, and hopefully it'll be okay. I'm being messy. I'm being messy. So I'm going to put some dots on here for my sunflower. Again, no rhyme. Here, let's take ourselves back out so you can see my little sign over there. We're almost done. See, it was that easy, guys. It was truly that easy to create it. Not hard at all. It's just doing it like the first time. If you have no idea and you've never done it, it's like, no way it can be that easy, but it is. Okay, I'm not going to finish that tire. Just like that. Let me go. Oh, okay, I have to finish it. It'll bother me. It will bother me. Okay. All right, you guys. I got white on there like I shouldn't have. But there you go. There is your Chippy Paint with the Buffalo Plaid tutorial. Easy, right? Easy breezy. You guys, make sure you go grab the file. It's an awesome file. Like I said, it's a very, very popular product that I do sell. It is a great workshop as well if you do local workshops, so please be sure to check that out. Jamie's files are they're amazing. I was gonna say fabulous, amazing, but it wasn't coming out. I love her files. So I hope you enjoyed this. Any questions you have, let me know. I'm hoping I could do a little bit more in here for you. Okay, next file I need to buy, I guess. When is the next sale? When's the next sale, Jamie? Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Miss Linda. I know you loved it. You use Chalk Couture, Miss Linda, too. I know you do. All right, you guys. Any questions you have, I am happy to answer. I hope this helped you out. If there's anything else you'd like to see that I can try to help with, please let me know. I would love to do that. This is what I love to do, is sharing. So I'm happy to do so. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.